Pastors and Pagans. We're just discussing sharing this on Facebook with Jack and Chase's friends. Chase is shaking his head. I don't think you could see him. Jack was not a fan. And then I thought that I could reinstall my Facebook and share it with their friends who I know a few of. And what were we just talking about?
I just thought, it's more for close friends. It's not for the general population. I've had a few people say, "Oh, so I hear you're doing a podcast." I'm like, "Nope."
Chase is gone. Oh, thanks a
Chase
lot,
is
Jack. That's why we
completely-
have 5 viewers. Even Al-Anon of Riverwood got tired of us.
Chase
Where'd
hung
Chase
up.
go?
He quit. There he is.
Okay.
You're back.
Hey, don't be embarrassed. Do you want me to put a disclaimer for you at the end? Jack and Chase do not share the views of all members of Pastors and Pagans.
The thoughts and opinions shared in Pastors and Pagans don't. Yeah.
Oh,
You okay there, Chase? You look like you're freaking out.
My internet connection's unstable too. One sec.
I was actually just telling someone about it before I came up and got ready for the podcast today that we were all doing this together. But, I don't think it's for the general population. I don't think most people are ready.
Well, I'll give the disclaimer right here. I am the wrong one. I am the rebuked. I am the rebel. And the one that shouldn't be able to talk.
You're not. You're
Hey,
not
there
the
he
wrong
is.
one. You're not the wrong one, Tim.
No, that is my place, I think, in the universe to be the wrong one. But I'm okay with it.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. The sound cut out. So
That's okay. I'll cut it all out.
Okay,
But not the
so
part
let's do
where
it.
I talk about cutting it out. For some reason, that's humorous to me. I leave it in.
Yeah. Yeah, it is funny every time.
Whatever. All right. Just the opening. I wanted to talk about our purpose. I had a couple discussions myself with people that have seen the show. This is a show by working persons for working persons. It's not a family program. I use the dialect of the working person, and sometimes that gets colorful. I can't help it. I only have so many words in my vocabulary.
yes, you do. Only a few words.
Your IQ
Whoa.
is in the double digits, bro. I found people on YouTube this week, a bunch of big, bearded, long-haired dudes that are all pagans. And at first I was interested, all talking about Odin and Freya and all kinds of sweet, interesting stuff. And it was really interesting until I heard one of the dudes do like oh ho ho ho, you see, this is why wisdom of Odin and the council of Ashtaru are wrong on this subject. I just thought, oh god, what idiots. One of the guy was wearing a bronze chest armor with a wolf skin hanging from it just randomly. It was comforting to know there were so many people like me, and then also discomforting to realize how much of an idiot we all are.
I find it
My
funny that
people.
you realized until they said that, you realized that they had been crazy. Only up until then.
No. I wasn't getting into it. All of it. Actually, they in one of his videos he describes people like me as like barely even pagans, and not he was talking about people that see the gods as archetypes to help tell a story about humanity, deeper truths to human personalities and stuff. Like Jordan Peterson, he said, "Oh, they're barely even pagans." Oh, that's thanks, bud. Like they don't even want me.
Wow.
That was fun.
I didn't realize that there were so many rules to being a pagan. I thought that was kind of part of it, is that there were none. And you just like, yeah, it kind of ruins it all.
That's what I hate. Those people, and I found them in every corner of anywhere I go, any in shooting, you go into the gun store and the guy, I was a chief petty officer in the Air Force for 15 years. That's why I know so much about guns. Like, just those people anywhere. Construction. I
It's in
can't stand
music.
that attitude that, oh, ho, ho, no, you idiot. No, not like that. No, I've heard you laugh. I've heard you do that exact laugh, Chase.
I don't know. Just you do the oh ho ho very, very, very well. Have you been
That was
practicing
an
it?
imitation of you. Yes, I have.
It sounds like you've been practicing it for like one day, actually being able to say that to somebody. Like, oh no, oh no, no, no. This is this is how you do it.
No, just in any in D&D and shooting and construction, anytime in religion when you hear oh no, you idiot. Like you don't whenever I hear that, it just turns me off on the whole subject. Like, all right, fuck it, I quit. I'm moving on to a new hobby.
And there's the vocabulary, folks.
Yep, there it
There it
is.
is.
Don't be
You
ashamed.
know,
Don't be
I
ashamed
actually
for me.
I just watched a video that was really good. This guy was talking about that exact subject, and that any topic you want, there's always those people that are like out to correct everyone. And he pointed out something that I've always thought, but it was just cool to hear from somebody else, is that whoever they are the mid-level of whatever they're talking about. So if it's music, photography, Christianity, whatever, if they're out to correct everybody, it's because they're slightly above the average, or maybe they're at the average, but they want to make it seem like they're the experts. Whereas the experts are the people that are really well versed. They don't have anything to prove. They're not out to correct anybody because they know that those people are on the same journey that they've been on, and it'll just be a matter of time that they've got all the intellect in that area that they want. Where the ones that are always pointing their finger and saying how wrong everyone else is, those are people that aren't going to progress any further.
Well, the work it would require to get to that mid-level of knowledge turns me off of every subject every time.
I heard this. I was reading this article about people that like write books before actually achieving, like, and even like the self-help books and stuff, like it's kind of the same thing that Jack was saying. And I find that everywhere, where it's like usually a person, if there's a person, say even in the music world, and he's writing a book on how to accomplish the things, and he hasn't reached there himself, or even if he has, to me it seems like he's already hit a plateau. Like he's so bored now, and he's so non-relevant that he's actually sitting down and writing a book on how to get to his non-relative plateau. Where the people that aren't writing books on anything are the people that are active and still changing the world or doing things. Like they're doing things. And so I find that like it's so true what Jack was saying. It just made me think of like a bunch of people that that are like, let me show you how this goes. And this is usually the reason they have time to articulate and think about like their life's journey to get where they're at is because they're done. Like they're the has-beens. It's the people that are like working and building.
Where to go.
Yeah, it's the people that are working and active and doing things. They don't got time to like actually teach other people really how to do it. They're just doing the work. And that was just very interesting. Like I can attest to that like a lot. Just I want to be a person that doesn't really care what everybody else is doing, and I'm just focused and doing whatever the work is doing, Like I can't stand those people.
I do find it funny to think about that there are mid-level pagans out there that, they're like a level 4.5.
Well, the guy he is so eloquent and well-spoken and versed, like, he's read all these ancient books that I find so interesting. I find one or two for free online, and this guy's bought all the ones that you can buy. And, like, it's really interesting, but then when he gets, oh, ho, 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 I can't stand it.
Well, see, here's the deal. If you lived in your mom's basement, you could afford to buy all those books too. And so it's about life choices. Yeah. Hold down a job. Yeah. No, Mom, I didn't look for a job today. I'm too busy reading my books.
Oh boy. It's so true though. Like if you have time to like start, I don't know, telling people what to do, then you've probably, it's kind of like an old retired guy that he's retired he's lost his purpose in life because he's not active anymore. So then what does he do? He comes and goes, this is the way you should do it. And it's like he's looking for purpose again. But the poor guy, he doesn't have the purpose anymore.
He starts doing a podcast with a couple of his friends on the weekend. I
Yeah.
just feel like you were looking at me when you said that, Chase. I feel like that was directed right at me.
No,
I was thinking about Scott. I don't know who you were thinking about.
Yeah, Scott, not me.
No, it's you're not retired, Jack. You're far away from that. You're still active, getting it. But I do think that like that's kind of what it is. Not that they don't have a purpose anymore. It's that they're not engaged in the fight anymore. So they're, even if this makes any sense, they're not struggling and toiling, and they're bored. They lost a little purpose. It's like if you've ever worked down towards the Four Seasons and the guys that are golfing, we were doing a job down there. There's these two old dudes that were golfing, and me and my brother Carl were roofing a house down at the Four Seasons, and it was super hot. We're like drenched in sweat, and so Carl's like, "Oh, I'm hot," so he takes off his shirt. I took off my shirt. We're in like 120 degrees or whatever it is. It's like really hot. We're dripping, and they were golfing and were offended that our shirts were off by golfing, and then called the managers, and the managers said like, "Oh my gosh, get those boys down from the roof, put your shirts back on." But these are like two 65-year-old rich golfer guys, like, and I just thought they've lost their purpose. They've got
excited.
That they didn't even have their wives with them. It's just these two old guys golfing. And I just thought those men have lost their purpose. They don't have anything else to do other than go, let's put a shirt on these young, strapping, very good looking men. Like, I don't know, but I just thought that was weird. They've lost purpose.
Yeah, that was weird.
Assholes. Aliens. Did you guys see the UFO buzz that commercial jet the other day, last week?
Yes, I did. It was
no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Nope,
cylindrical silver UFO buzzed right over a plane. No propulsion system that they could see or tell. No sound. Like danger close over this plane, which they said was obviously like it's not done by accident. It was showing off. Zipped right over this plane, like way too fast to be conventional aircraft.
So like a weather balloon that was caught by the wind kind of thing?
No, Jack.
Is that really how your mind works, dude? You are old.
It was up.
Wait, yeah, you were saying that it flew by an airplane, so the airplane's moving. It didn't make any engine sound, so
a cigar-shaped object, just metal cigar-shaped object, went by a plane faster than a plane can go. No wings, no rockets.
So sure. Jack thought giant balloon.
You're
that's the first thing that he thought of.
You're one of them. So is that our subject? Is aliens?
No, that was just the opening.
Oh my goodness, we might need to restart
this. Welcome to the second segment. We're doing a personality quiz. I have a few questions just on sci-fi shows, preferences, games, and then we had a personality quiz. It's kind of an old thing. It was all over social media a couple years ago. The Cube personality test. I thought we could do it, then we could give it to any guests that we have on the show. So you want to start with the personality quiz or the sci-fi show questions?
Sci-fi.
Personality. Oh yeah, sci-fi.
I answered first.
All right, Matrix or Truman Show?
Matrix.
Ooh. Truman Show.
I never considered the Truman Show to be sci-fi.
Firefly or Dark Matter?
That's a tough one.
I never saw Firefly, so I'm gonna go with Dark Matter.
Ace is also wrong on this one.
Firefly. I'm gonna have to go with Firefly. I'm very hopeful that they're restarting that series.
Star Wars or Trek?
Oh my goodness, Star Wars, 100%.
Wrong, so wrong.
You are a nerd, big nerd.
Okay, now see, I think these are different categories because Star Trek is TV sci-fi. Star Wars is cinematic sci-fi. This is different. You can't put those together.
That's true because the Star Trek movies kind of blew, in my opinion.
Oh, the Star Trek TV also was garbage. I don't know. Like,
no,
no.
The original show was the best, one of the best shows ever made. It
no,
was in the 60s.
No.
They had far out subjects, man. Shit we're just barely getting to now in society.
It's like comparing like a Hallmark video to like a masterpiece. It's just Star Wars is a masterpiece.
That important to you? You like computer? Okay, of all the Star Wars films, Chase, which one's your favorite one? Probably Phantom Menace, isn't
it? No, Empire Strikes Back.
All right, you got one.
Like that one.
Marvel or DC? This is an easy one.
Marvel.
Yeah, it's not even.
Who would choose DC? Come on.
Question, really? All right.
Wait, Chase, what are we talking about?
You're the only one that's played both of the two of you. Fallout or Skyrim?
Oh, Skyrim by far.
Okay.
You get to be a wolf.
That's a close one. That's a close one.
A werewolf.
X-Files or Fringe?
Fringe.
Friends. Definitely Friends. No, I haven't seen.
Not sci-fi, but that 70s show or Friends?
Oh, Friends. I never liked that 70s show. Megan did though. She liked it a lot.
Supernatural.
Never saw it.
That's not a question. That was a statement.
I was gonna say that's our only choice. Supernatural or Supernatural?
that's not a question at all.
That was a statement. All right, to the personality.
Wait. Okay, yeah. So staying on sci-fi for just a little bit more. What's the number one recommendation for sci-fi from each of you guys? Like if you're gonna recommend either a movie or TV show, what would be your go-to? Like, hey, you should watch this.
Oh, good question.
I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. I'm gonna go with The Expanse.
The Mandalorian.
Everybody's is talking at the same time. Chase, what's yours?
The Mandalorian, if you haven't seen it. So good. So good.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's so good.
It's computer graphics. It's really good computer graphics.
Oh yeah,
decent storyline. They just fired the best part of the whole series.
Okay. Well, we're not going to get into that, but I mean, yes, they did fire the best part of that. But dude, if you understood the inner workings of Star Wars, which you don't because you're a TV guy, but having all of the Tusken Raiders march in single file to hide their tracks and covering that in Mandalorian, only true people get what's going on.
Of all the Star Wars, the Mandalorian, of all the new Star Wars since 2001 or whatever, the Mandalorian is the best.
It is.
Of all those movies, I believe.
Thank you.
All right, what's your recommendation, Tim?
I don't know. I think it's between The Matrix and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Ooh.
Those are both very good. Yeah.
I got a question. Oh, sorry. Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter?
Oh, Lord of the Rings. It's a tough call, but Lord of the Rings. It's not too tough.
Yeah, it's not too tough.
No.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Harry Potter films they're really good. But yeah, if I had to choose between one or the other, Lord of the Rings for sure. My sci-fi recommendation.
Lord of the Rings or Chronicles of Narnia.
What?
Go. Lord of the Rings or Chronicles of Narnia?
Lord of the Rings. Narnia is
Lord
too
of the
blunt.
Rings.
I do love Narnia, but it's too blunt. It's like not as cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could watch Narnia as a warm-up. So you watch the Narnia films like, okay, I just need like a little warm-up before Lord of the Rings. That would work. But not in place of.
Guess you got to
So
read them when
okay,
you're a kid. What's your recommendation?
good grief. If I was going classic, I'm gonna have to go with Fringe. Amazing all the way through. Modern, The Expanse.
Yes, The Expanse is good. If we're giving out recommendations on epic movies or things, if you've never seen it, especially the old cartoon, Watership Down is a really good movie. Have you never seen it?
I haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's kind of weird.
It's so good. It's like, yeah, okay, the bunnies have their own religion and stuff. A little weird, but freaky and good. Well, it's a good story. It's epic. Nobody would have ever thought that rabbits were so vicious and they have their own little tribes and they're warring against it. I've always loved it ever since a kid. It was dark for rabbits.
I have to find that.
It's on Netflix.
Okay. Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You saw Princess Mononoke, right?
Yes. Back
Yeah,
when
that's
I
a good
thought
one.
that animes, my mom rented it and thought that animes were just like every other cartoon until me and my brother are watching it and people's arms start falling off and getting chopped off in heads. And we're like, oh, this is not a normal cartoon. But mom's not here. So, yeah. I think it was my first anime actually ever to watch. That was gnarly.
You know what? Or Spirited Away. I'll throw that in one of the three I would recommend. I don't know. Okay, what? We got this personality quiz. You got a paper and pencil? Or I don't know if you
Yes.
need it. I'll just say it and you describe it back to me. So think of an open field. How big is this field? What is it filled with? And what are the surroundings like?
Well, you said field, so it's an open field. I don't know.
Describe it.
Describe your field, Chase.
It's
An
got
open patch of ground, a piece of
okay.
earth, flat.
It's covered. It's covered with soft grass, daisies, and it's very like open plains, very open. It's a
What's
field.
the color? Give me a color.
Green.
Okay, Jack.
First thing that came to mind is like one of the fields that I grew up on my uncle's ranch. So picture like a big open field, probably about 10 acres, and maybe almost waist high alfalfa. So dark green, really good smell in the air, and mountains in the background.
Whoa.
Nice. Now think of a cube. How big is the cube? What is it made of? What is the surface like? What color is it? Where in the field is it? And where is the cube? On the ground, floating, etc. Is it transparent? Can you see inside?
The cube is very large. Like that, I think it's the size of a pyramid. And it's, I think what my initial thought was it's made out of ice, like an igloo.
Jack.
Okay. So mine is not the size of a pyramid, but still pretty big. I'd probably say like 30-foot cubicle, and it's made out of black obsidian.
Whoa.
Just what came to mind.
So is mine. Now think of a ladder. How long is this ladder? Where is it in the field? And what's the distance between the ladder and the cube?
The ladder's leaned up against the cube so I can get on top.
Yeah, same here. My ladder's leaning up against the cube.
Big ass ladder then.
Gotta be.
Bigger than a pyramid, apparently.
For some
Now-
reason, just say this, I don't know if it makes any difference, but for some reason my ladder didn't quite make it to the top of the cube. It stopped around 20 feet short of the top when I thought of it.
Interesting.
Don't know why.
Now, you notice a horse. What color is the horse? What's the horse doing, and where is it in relation to your cube?
Black horse running towards the cube, I think.
Mine's a white horse, and it's just chilling, eating alfalfa, sitting, or not sitting, standing right next to the cube. Mellow.
Nice. Now you notice some flowers. Where are these flowers, and how many are there?
They're little purple flowers growing in the alfalfa. They're all over the place as far as the field goes.
I gotta say similar. They're in whatchamacallit, flower boxes surrounding the cube. They're all over the place.
Now, what is the weather like? Is it raining? Is it sunny? Is your field foggy?
It's sunny, but not hot. It's a very comfortable, like, summer after.
There's a storm, but it's far, far away. Like, you can see it way, way, way in the back, out in the distance.
Interesting. Now you notice a storm is coming. What is the distance between your storm and a cube? Is it a big storm, or is it just passing through?
Massive storm, but far, far away from the cube.
Mine's like a bank of clouds on the horizon. It's not necessarily like a huge storm, but it is, miles and miles away.
Well, that is the test. And I have a little description of what some of the answers could mean. The field represents your mind. It's the size of the representation of your knowledge of the world and how vast your personality is. The condition of the field, dry, grassy, or well-trimmed, is what your personality looks like at a first glance. And it says, like, if it was dry and dead, you're kind of a pessimist. If it's grassy and healthy, you're an optimist. If it's well-trimmed, you're analytical and cautious.
Ooh, Jack had you had specific dimensions in your field. No.
We didn't get any answers from you, Tim.
Yeah,
with all of this.
The field, I saw kind of an open prairie sloping down towards a stream or river in the distance. Kind of spaced out trees way far off.
Wow.
The cube, which I saw about it like an 8-foot squared obsidian cube, represents you. The size of the cube is your ego.
Oh no.
The size of a pyramid.
Oh no.
The surface of the cube represents what is visibly observable about your personality, or maybe it is what you want others to think about you. The texture of the cube, smooth, rough, bumpy, etc., represents your nature. If it's smooth, you're a gentle person who takes care not to hurt others or make them feel uncomfortable. If it's rough, you're more straightforward. You tend to be honest in everything you say, no matter how it might affect the person you're talking to. And if it's bumpy or spiky, you have a tendency to criticize others in an attempt to make them feel inferior to you.
Oh, wow. What did you guys, yours was exhibiting? That's kind of like rough.
Obsidian, it's like smooth glass.
Mine was smooth like the cube in Mecca.
So the how big this thing is your ego. And mine was made out of ice, so it's transparent, I would like to think.
And
there's more about it. It's interesting. Earlier, I was thinking about my answer. Like I was like, man, an 8x8 cube, that's like bigger than a man. Like my ego's so big.
At least it's
the color of the cube is a more in-depth analysis of yourself. Each color can represent an emotion or an entire personality altogether. However, these are the most common. There's a bunch that, if anybody ever watches this, red means you're physically active and enjoy a rich sensory experience. Yellow, you're sociable and cherish your individuality. Blue, you're intelligent and respect others' ideals.
Ice
Violet,
is blue.
you did say blue. Violet, you're intelligent and a bit of a perfectionist. You are also mysterious. Gray, you are self-confident and independent and not easily rattled. Black, you have a strong sense of individuality and independence, and you put a high
Whoa.
value on your time.
Oh,
And
no.
white, you are kind, independent, and self-reliant.
Oh, of course. Of course white would be. I see what they did there. Wow.
And
Okay.
it says in some cases, the physical characteristics of the cube are unique. Did you say yours was translucent or transparent, Chase?
I just said ice, like an igloo, whatever you think of an igloo. So.
Okay, it has that. It says a cube made of water or ice indicates that you let external elements influence you completely. Your
Oh
personality
my
is
gosh.
sensitive to social pressure, relationships, and other environmental factors.
Oh no. I
Hey,
got problems.
don't worry
That
about it.
doesn't sound good at all.
Oh, but my ego is big. It's very big. So
Very big and influenced by
try
others.
tearing me down.
That's a great combo. I love you, bud. The ladder represents two different aspects of your life, your goals and your friendships. First, let's look at what the ladder says about your goals. If it's short, your goals are realistic and simple. If it's long, your goals are more far-fetched and difficult to attain. If it's near, you're putting maximum effort and focus into achieving your goals. And if it's far, I guess, from your cube, you aren't putting much thought into or effort into achieving your goals.
Wow. So mine came up short, if I remember
Mine
correctly.
mine was like a 4-foot step ladder kind of far away from the cube. Okay, an interpretation is that if your ladder is near the cube, you are very close with your friends. If it is actually leaning on the cube, it means your friends can lean on you for support.
Ooh, I like it.
If
I may
it's
have an
far
ego.
away, you have a hard time opening up to people and letting them get close to you.
That's sad.
If
That
you're
actually is, I think, a good description about how each one of us responded.
Yeah, Timmy has his own stepladder, and if you know, a stepladder doesn't need nobody's help, but it's also really far away from that cube.
and it's also
So.
4 foot short of the top of the cube. It says
So you're
that
realistic.
if the material is strong, the stronger your bond with your friends. If it's of a weak nature, then it means you have a weak relationship with your friends.
What was your ladder made out of, Tim?
Just a regular fiberglass 4-foot step ladder. I use it every day. They support you.
So that's pretty strong. It's not like the cheap, crappy ladder from Ace. So yeah.
I've barely ever broken them, just like 3 or 4 times.
Nice.
The horse represents your ideal partner. It could be playing, running around, or grazing right next to your cube or clear across the field. What were your horses?
Uh-oh.
Jack, you had a white one.
Mine was a white horse, and it was right next to the cube, just eating grass and chilling.
If the horse is white, it means that you value loyalty and trust more than anything else in a relationship. And if it's sleeping or grazing, your ideal partner is calm and fully committed to you. And Chase, what was yours?
Mine was black, and it was running towards my ego.
Well, black means that your ideal partner is dominant, seductive, and sophisticated, and running means that your ideal partner will respect your space and give you the alone time that you crave.
Oh man, wow. Okay, well, cool.
Mine
Sounds
was
about
kind
right.
of a brown black, and it was running, and brown means that you prize comfort and reliability above all else. Otherwise, you don't have a specific set of expectations from your partner. And
Interesting.
I'd say I was right in the middle on that too. The flowers represent your family and friends. The number of flowers reflects your popularity, and their location indicates how close you are with your social groups. If it's just a
Oh,
few, you are close with your family and have a small, tight-knit group of friends. If they're everywhere, you're a social butterfly with family and friends too numerous to count. You'll never be
right on,
lonely.
Jack. Me and you. Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
Hey, wait, Timmy, how many
Yeah, yep,
how
yep.
many flowers how many flowers did you have, Tim?
5
Oh,
in a ring
okay.
around the cube.
So we're probably one of those flowers.
Yeah, probably.
We're,
You
we're
guys,
two of those.
Chase, Molly, and yet to be determined.
Nice. What about the
Now
storm?
the weather in your field reflects your general outlook on life. There's a reason we have expressions. It rains like when it rains, it pours. If it's sunny, you're optimistic and carefree, and it sounded like we're all sunny except Chase, who's worried about a future problem in his life.
Is that a storm? Is that a storm coming?
Yeah. That's a storm coming. He saw the storm coming before you were supposed to.
Really?
And then
well, you said
the strength in yeah, after you said there was a storm. So the strength and position of the storm reflect the stress you're feeling in life. As you probably guessed, the stronger the storm and the closer to the cube, the higher your stress level. If you imagined a storm raging right above your cube, it might be a good idea to work on reducing stress in your daily life. So if the storm was just mild or passing through, you aren't immune to stress. You know that while you aren't immune to stress, you know that all things must pass. If it's strong and you're in the eye of the storm, when you stress, you go all in and you have a very hard time pulling yourself out again. If it's in the background, any obstacle that might be causing you grief are not any obstacles. I'm so sorry. Any obstacles that might be causing you grief are not at the forefront of your mind. You are good at managing your anxiety. If it's right above your cube, you're deeply affected by stress and have a hard time seeing past it to get back to the bigger picture.
Oh, wow.
Where was your storm at, Tim?
It was like a massive sandstorm, and it was kind of a ways off and coming.
All right.
That was fun. Glad we got through.
I think I have got problems. This thing didn't make me feel good at all, Tim. kind of mean. At least I got a lot of flowers in my life. I mean, that's good.
Well, good, because that brings us to our closing segment. What do you want on your tombstone?
What?
Yeah. What do you want on your tombstone?
I think I'd like it to say, I told you I was sick.
I told you so. Oh, that would be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
I do want some kind of final troll just to get whoever walks by, something like, at least I don't have to go to work tomorrow, sucker. Just something.
I don't know if I'm going to have a tombstone. So I don't know how that's going to really, I want to just be burnt and thrown in the ocean. Not Viking style, but just like ashes in the ocean. I think I want that way. But, it's always amazed me that people on my dad's side, it's very odd where on my dad's side, they're very into the Hawaiian lineage and everybody. And you could almost say that they're so focused on the lineage and the death that they miss the living. It's very odd. I've only kind of witnessed it with his side of the family, but they already have the place that they're going to get buried in Honolulu, their plots picked out, their tombstones ready 30 years in advance. And I've never met people like that. And I've always thought of it as I never liked it because it's always been reflected in my head that they're more focused on the people that have died and then their deaths, but these people really tend to miss the living. I've always thought about that, but
You think about
I
it though,
guess it's
those are
good.
the most realistic and efficient preppers ever.
Mm. I never liked it.
Yeah. Having to look at your mortality that long in
No,
the future.
no, it's once again, it kind of goes back to the same people that are like lost purpose and they're telling other people. It's like the same thing, but just with tombstones. They've lost purpose. They're not engaged in the fight. They're not busy enough. They're so bored and disconnected that they're already ready for the end and they're just waiting.
Do
And
you
that's where
guys
I've
get
always
a
thought of it.
Do you guys get a square?
I think they have one for me, but I don't plan to go there. I plan to be burnt. But like I said, I'm too engaged. I feel like people shouldn't, I don't
Let
know.
your wife worry about it after you're dead.
No, she knows that she'll burn me and then
Or your
toss me in
kids.
the ocean. I have two boys that would more than likely enjoy setting no pops on fire with the Christmas trees from last year, all bundled up together. So I think they're gonna do fine.
But I picture like your parents or whatever, the family you were talking about, setting up a plot for you, but it's also the same one that you're going to share with Robbie and Keith and Carl.
The family discount. Yeah.
Just dump them
probably.
all in here.
It's like
Probably.
a bunk bed, only forever.
I don't know. I'd probably put some, if I did get a tombstone, I'd probably put some kind of lyrics or something. I don't know. But I'd most prefer to be burned.
Your lyrics or someone else's?
Probably mine.
For freedom fighters.
Remember, I'm the guy with the pyramid-sized cube. Yeah, it's probably going to be my lyrics. Nobody
Rebels
else's.
on the run.
So, yeah, freedom fighters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tim, I think for your tombstone, you should have, I told you I'd finally get out of construction.
Something. Yeah, I got to think about it. That's what I got to prep. I got to get that ready. Just the good
You'd probably say something like, I took the blue pill or something.
That's,
yeah.
But like the next two generations, they're not going to get that. I want something timeless that everybody can get. I just want to troll anybody walking past.
Ooh.
Just from the grave, one final troll.
I was just thinking something horrible, but yeah, you could probably. No, it's a family show. No,
it's not. Yeah. It's not a family show. It's three working persons.
Nah, it's not a thought that needs to be shared, but it would have been something in your character that I would think that you would do with your tombstone, guaranteed. But anyways.
Dick pic?
Yes, but I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah. Anyways.
Just the carving of a medium-sized dick stone.
No. But yes.
Thank you. That's a great idea.
You said something.
This is a life-size recreation.
Well, you just said something that would be timeless and you could troll literally
that is
forever.
Timeless. You are correct. That's the best idea yet. That's better than any I had.
Yeah. I'm sorry I gave it to you. Don't do that.
What have you been into? You guys want to talk about stuff you've been into lately?
Yes.
Go for it.
I have been into rock climbing. I don't know how to use ropes or anything. And my buddy, he's a rock climber and he's been teaching me how to belay for him. So that's what I've been doing. It's difficult. It's difficult because it's so unnatural for me to let go and like rappel down a cliff or something and trust gear. I don't like it. I'm like an OP, like you have to peel me off the rocks where he's just like, just let go. And I'm like, I can't. Like It's very it's been fun though. I know nothing about ropes or knots, so I'm learning all that lately.
That's awesome. You should learn,
Yeah.
and then when you get back, we'll rappel down the tree in Ka'avali.
Yeah. Hey, remember when you were cutting all those weeds at that one old lady's house and you took that picture that looked like you were rappelling, but it
Yeah,
was like that was
yeah.
cool.
It
You had
was
your machete.
it was cooler in the picture than it was in real life.
It's like so much things in this life are. What about you, Jack?
Well, I mentioned this a while ago when it was just Tim and I, but I've gotten into photography, so I've been doing a lot of research and got a certain style of photography that I'm wanting to learn. And so at this point, it's just taking a lot of information in. I haven't actually started doing any shooting for it yet, but it's been fun to kind of get those creative and learning things going on again. And that, yeah, photography. Portrait photography specifically.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I think that's one of your best qualities is you've always been very imaginative, like always creating things. And it kind of stopped, it seemed like, for a season. I don't know if you just got too busy, but you were always like shaping boards and making movies. And like, I think maybe you had an overload or something, just like so much going on.
But I kind of did. I kind of like had a series of hobbies that I got burned out on all of them. And so then I just kind of like chilled for a couple of years. So yeah, it's actually good to get back into it. And I've done other stuff. I got into shooting and things. And so those have been really fun too, but I wouldn't say they were necessarily creative. And so
yeah.
I've got some more of the creative side of this, of how to set up a proper shoot for portraits. And like I said, a certain style. It's Rembrandt lighting or cross lighting, whatever you want to call it. It tends to be a little bit more dramatic, and that's fun. I love the idea of working with light and shadow. Nice. And it's something I can kind of pursue on my own. I don't need other people to make it happen. And so I just do it at my own leisure, do it at my own pace. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
That's cool. You remember John Russell, when we built that horrible house?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he's a really good, photographer, like really good, but I never really knew how good until one day we were in his garage or something, and we walked by and he has this famous picture that was used on all these magazines back in the day when people read those things. But like, I remember going, wow, like I walked by his shop and I was like, that's a really cool, it's like this picture of this woman and she's got like a canoe paddle and she's just holding it on her, like above her back, but you could just see all like her muscles in her back and everything. It's a really cool photo. And I just thought, like, I asked him kind of like, oh, that's like a really cool photo, just because of like, it gets all the muscle tone and everything on her back and everything. And he was like, oh yeah, that was really easy. And I was like stoked to like how it turned out. And he took me, he was like, here's a paddle. And he had me stand in front of this one of his walls or something. He just held it. And then he just moved light around in the room. And it was really neat. Took the shot. And this is like an old film camera too. And took the shot. And it was exactly like the photo that made him like thousands of dollars within a couple seconds, but it was just a manipulation of the light. And that I remember thinking, whoa, that's like photography, like real, somebody that actually knows how to move the light around and not just, clicking it on the phone. Like how we do.
Yeah, no, there was cool. I was just watching this guy the other day and he said that everybody's style is different, but if you want to get into, really kind of artistic type of photography, you're not so much a photographer as a light architect, that you are designing light and shadow. And then from there, when you get it where you want it, you use the camera to record what you've created. And I thought, oh, that's kind of a different way of looking at it.
Yeah, I'd never seen anything like it before. I was like, oh, that was cool. Like, just, that was really, really cool. But so good. Glad you're using your artistic left side of your brain.
Yeah, it's good. It's been a little bit flabby lately. How about you, Tim? What are you into?
I just picked up the throwing knives again for the first time in a month. I was throwing them since October till like middle of January, and I couldn't get no spin down. And I just picked it up again, and I kind of figured it out. That's kind of cool. About 50-50, but that's still cool.
That is cool. I went over there and threw knives with you one day, and yeah, I couldn't figure out any way to get a no spin kind of throw. That's seemed almost impossible.
Yeah, just the flick of the finger.
I remember I sent you guys those photos where me and Megan, we actually went out to one of those axe throwing things.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You know, you think you would get bored, but man, it makes you want to just get better and better at it. And you actually pick up on like a rhythm after a while. It's weird. I haven't spent a lot of time throwing something long enough. And we spent 2 hours just throwing things towards a wall, that once you get this rhythm down, it is such a good feeling. And not only once you get the rhythm down, but when you can manipulate the rhythm of throwing something, but with force behind it, with rhythm, it's like such a satisfying feeling where it's like, you know, hits the board. And you're like, ooh yeah. Like
yeah, you know when it's gonna hit, you know when it leaves your hand, that one's gonna hit. And like, yep.
Yeah.
Just a really good feeling like, oh, I know I did that right.
Yeah, that was cool. It was weird. I've seen people getting into the axe throwing thing, and I was like, it's kind of dumb. It's like I literally do this at Tim's house, you know. And over here, of course, we didn't have like a backyard, so we went and paid $15 to go in and do it for 2 hours. And everybody's in there, and they're all amped up and throwing things. And I was kind of into it, but then after like 30 minutes, me and Megan both really got into it. We were like, this is, and like same thing when you would throw it, you would know before it hit, like, oh, this one's going in, and it's gonna go in towards the target too. It's like it's fun. Like I really enjoyed it, and she got it good too, like multiple times.
Yeah, that video you sent was actually Megan throwing, and it looks like she drilled it, and I thought that's so cool. What a fun date night.
Yeah, no, she did. Like once she got the handle of it, like she rarely missed at all. We were having a game to 20, win by 2, and yeah, she beat me a couple times, but it was like, it was really cool, like getting to throw it in there and stuff. But yeah, I also picked up skateboarding recently, and that is not something you want to do when you get older. But my brother-in-law, he skateboards, and so he's been wanting me to get into it. So I dropped in on a half pipe the other day, hurt myself, took like 30 times in front of a 6-year-old kid.
I didn't know you could learn how to do that after 18.
You can. You just have a ton more risk and a lot more weight hitting the ground, and a lot less healing time. And yeah, I ate it so many times in front of this like 6-year-old that finally the kid, because we were alone, it was just me and this kid at a skate park in town. And after like my 17th time eating it on the ground, the little kid just gets up and he's all frustrated. He was like, dude, I can teach you if you want to. And I said, I turned to him and I said, I don't need to be taught. My brother-in-law showed me. Thank you. And I got up. I was like actually very, very emotional.
I don't need your help, Dad.
I got it though. I could show you guys the clip. I may have showed you the video, but it was a good video.
I think you did send us the video.
Yeah, a good time.
All right, well, that was a good one. From Pastors and Pagans. Don't forget, kids, a pint of gasoline and an essential oil vaporizer will effectively level a structure. Good night and good week.
I don't